more people there are, more possibilities of good players coming in from there. So it's just overall statistics help out Mexico City so much that you get these banger sets, that you get like really obscure matchups like, I don't know, like Duck Hunt against King K. Rool, and then you don't get matchup check whenever you go outside, right? Now, this is going to be one of those obscure matchup types because who plays Ryu and Kirby? Like, nobody, but we do have it right here, and it's winners finals, baby. We're gonna have here within Delfino Jam, Mauu against Guilheww. Kid, take it away.
In the year of our Lord and Savior in 2025, we have a winners finals comprised of Kirby versus Ryu. Two quote-unquote base game characters, because these characters are both base game, which is crazy to say the least for sure. But right now, here comes the combos. Finds the scenario right here where you get the downer, but was able to shield in time. Usually, Guilheww is able to get these loops consistently, maybe some SDI into play, trading right there with the back air in favor of Mauu, taking first blood, looking so good so far.
Yeah, definitely, and this is what I was talking about. The fact that Ryu has to use that down tilt so often, kid, it actually leads to Guilheww having to play a little bit differently, because most of the times within the matchups, you know, you got really difficult matchups in the form of against Kirby because of his size. And even though that back air right there was very pristine, you still got 68% on you. Ooh, I thought that was for sure going to be a shield break. Going to see the chakra. It's barely out of the skin of his teeth, able to avoid it. And this is what I was talking about, kid. Like, this is the obscure information that you generally see happen very often. Oh, that could have been a setup for a forward smash. The Jodanzo Kutogeri, the donkey kick, however you want to call it, could have been lethal right there against Guilheww. And I really like the usage of these Shoryukens because he's trying to use them as combo breakers.
Yeah, I think that Shoryu was thrown out because he might have thought that Guilheww was just trying to finish the combo by back airing. Normally, when Kirby's combo route at mid percents, you're either going to back air because you probably get just a max range, so you do it for damage, or you pivot up tilt, which is just going to continue the combo, right? And I think that combo breaker Shoryu was designed for the back air. Regardless, though, Mau's still doing a really good job of just finding that stock, and now the favor in the Mauu. Mauu being in Grand Finals winner's slot is a potential prospect that I did not know we would possibly have. But right now, Guilheww responding accordingly, still alive in this first game.
Definitely sharking out for that kill. And that's exactly what you do when you have 6 jumps, man. You have to do it, because the moment that you don't, you're not really utilizing your character within its full potential. No confirmation, as we've seen right there coming in from Mauu, and he knows that a Tatsumaki isn't going to kill, or rather connect, simply because of how Guilheww DI'd that strong down tilt. So I mean, really good stuff. We're gonna see him try to go in for the up tilt once more. No collarbone breakers. We haven't really seen anything like that, or any of the sort, but we do see this combo right here coming in from Guilheww. Oh, he knows that air dodge could be lethal. Oh, Mauu actually intercepting it with the nair. You know, we have a Guilheww that is going to start off strong, gonna have the down smash right there, and Mauu with the really good coverage of his recovery, because he simply stays back and says, you know what, I'm gonna try to hug the stage as much as I can, but why don't you hug this stage, especially after that down smash, kid. We have something. Oh my goodness, he did it. He went for the con la piedra, el crico.
Man, the entire momentum shifted towards Guilheww for the last maybe 45 seconds, and it was enough for him to take it. I mean, there were scenarios where we saw the nair from on the platform from Mauu, and it was like, man, this is a scary scenario to be in. But Guilheww just finding those drag downs, finding the drag down into, I believe it's the auto cancel down smash, and like just very efficient on consistently finding them and consistently hitting them, right? Earlier we saw him miss the auto cancel because we saw Mauu able to shield. This time he's actually finding them much more consistently and executing them accordingly, and that was more than enough. And then yeah, just as soon as you force the horizontal recovery, then you just set up the stone, and that's just going to be an untechnical situation. And Guilheww taking the first game, and now having a little bit more momentum on his side now.
Yep, definitely. And even though we actually saw Mauu take the first 2 stocks early on, right now this is a Niño Kirby game. Really looking forward to seeing himself within the grand finals going in right there. Now Kirby has eyebrows, and this is going to be a very different game, especially because Kirby has one advantage, and that is that he can duck beneath the Hadoukens in order to be able to avoid them, and with that low profile be able to retaliate with something of his own. However, he does lose a very valuable command grab, especially since Mauu has been using a lot of his shield in order to stop the onslaught. So I mean, a lot of things to take into consideration situation here. I don't know if gaining a very good projectile, mind you, because I don't know if he's actually allowed to use like the Shakuretsu Hadouken, but he loses that power up. So it is back to square one, back to the basics, in which Mauu is essentially an entire stock down right now.
Yeah, 100%. I'm actually curious if you can actually do the input for the Shakuretsu, right? That would actually be really crazy if Kirby can do that. That would, honestly, that might make Kirby like a high tier with Ryu, with the Ryu copy ability. But yeah, like you said, having a pretty large deficit in this scenario right here, gets the weak Shoryu, doesn't get the strong, doesn't get the true, and doesn't get the sweet spot of that. So unfortunately not able to get a whole lot right here. This is an auto cancel right here, and just like that, that shield was really low. It was gonna post shields at the end of the day no matter what. So even if you angled it up, so excellent find right there from Guilheww. Now putting Mauu in a really unfavorable situation, able to still DI that Tatsu confirm.
And no, he does get the Shakuretsu Hadouken. You just have to do the input for it. So the thing is, since Kirby players, you know, they generally don't lab that. They don't have that knowledge of how to do the input, right? So it is a little bit more difficult for them to be able to use it. I do like the use of said Shakuretsu coming in from Mauu, actually, because he's using it in order to be able to wave bounce out of the effective range that Guilheww can respond to his aggressions from. So I really like that coming in from Mauu. The thing is, maybe using it in a bit more of an offensive manner could matter a little bit more right now, because he is the one within the disadvantage. And speak of a disadvantage, we do see Guilheww with a lot of percent, but 2 stocks, man, of within his name at this point. And even though we actually see Mauu trying to go for really good setups, you know, trying to go in for that collarbone breaker, shield break setup, I mean, it's still the fact that Guilheww has been playing out of his mind within this tournament overall. Look at the mobility that he's doing.
The pressure, right? Like just forcing Mauu to angle that shield, not really knowing if, you know, you're going to get those fares from you know, those rising fares, or if you're going to try to land with that down air to get that auto cancel yet again. So you're kind of just mixing it up. And now is a scenario where potentially Guilheww can close this game out. But the back air, Mauu finds it, and this is Rage Ryu. I mean, if anyone can bring it back, it could definitely be something like this. Like, True Shoryu might kill you at like 60% with Rage. Like, it actually would be insane.
Yeah. Definitely agree right there. So I mean, it is Kirby, so I mean you're a gumball right here, so I mean you still got to be cautious with not getting too much percentage, and that is something that Ryu can do quite well. And speaking of getting that damage, already 38%. Are we gonna see the rock? No, we're not gonna see the rock or what he's cooking. So 151%, man. Once again, a lot of things in play right here. One good backer, and I think that could be it. But 50%, this is what we were talking about. Air Shoryuken, and I think Guilheww's done if he is to get hit by it.
Yeah, so close. A little bit of a hairy scenario right there. Unfortunately, a little too far out. I mean, Guilheww takes the 2-0 lead right here, potentially on set point if he can close this third game out. But Mauu was bringing it back slowly but surely. Obviously, we were kind of in a sticky scenario right there where, you know, Max Rage Ryu, you know, you could potentially blow up here if you're Guilheww. So, you know, Guilheww looking very primed to, you know, to go into winner's side of Grands. Yeah, this is going to be kind of nuts if you can pull this off for sure. I mean, he's just one game away, but Mauu is just looking to not be denied. He's just right there. He's so close. He's so close.
Yep, he's so close to that breakout, man. But the thing is, Guilheww, every single time that Mauu can see the finish line within his sights, I mean, Guilheww actually moves it, and then not only that, but tries to trip him up constantly without. Speaking of trips right there, we're going to see the down tilt off of an attempt to start a combo. Unfortunately for Guilheww, Mauu is able to scramble out of it. And this is what I was talking about, just simply ducking under the Hadoukens in order to be able to gain at least a little bit more of an opportunity. Once again, only 1 hit of armor within that focus attack. I mean, if we are to see another iteration of Smash, I do expect to see a bit of a change Ryu just overall right here because of what else they've given him within his games. But the same thing I could expect from Kirby. However, at this moment, we are seeing a Guilheww utilizing his tools just super well within his favor. And I do like, even though it was just the slightest of interactions right there, I do like the fact that Guilheww tried to use his Nair to stop the Shakuretsu Hadouken, right? Because that's something that it can do.
Yeah, 100%. We do see the roundhouse kicks come out from Mauu just because he understands that Guilheww might want to try to do rising fair, and that's just the anti-air completely. But then when you pressure Guilheww enough and then you just full send it with a Tatsu, you're likely to catch Guilheww lacking a little bit, and that's exactly what Mauu ends up finding right here. still looking like he's in a pretty good scenario right here. That shield pokes, that is a super dead reuse, so you do need to be careful if you're Mauu. Wisely heading to the platform to kind of reset yourself a little bit and to continue this this pressure right here as well. So Guilheww needing to pick up the pace a little bit right here. Mauu looking very, very strong here. One edge guard scenario, a little bit too late with the rock right there, a little bit too late with the stone, trying to find that edge guard. No one home for it though.
And I would dare say I don't think he was even an edge guard. I think it was Mauu trying to get a footstool, right? Because he tried to jump on top of Guilheww towards that. So let's see how that's going to work out. Guilheww able to dodge out of this string of down tilts. Finally able to find at least a little bit more tempo. And I do want to say something is that right now Mauu is struggling ever so slightly to find that perfect percentage in which he doesn't have to use the shakurets anymore after the down tilt. Great down tilt into Shoryuken. But we've actually seen Mauu use that shakuretsu Hadouken in Guilheww able to flow out of it, and not only that, but it gives Mauu, instead of relieving the pressure, it actually adds onto him because now he's forced into shield, you know, within those situations. So I really, really like what we're seeing right here coming in from Guilheww. Gonna do see the double? No, he actually opts to go in for the Shoryuken straight up, and that's really smart because it would have intercepted any sort of follow-up that Guilheww had. So very, very good stuff. This is what we were talking about, you know, a very unorthodox approach towards this matchup.
Yeah, very unorthodox for sure. You know, like you said, looking very good. Finding a situation where you're able to actually, you know, you find the down air right there, and you saw that early up B come from Mauu. That was honestly the best case scenario, because if you just hesitate for a split second, it's a second down air, and that would have been in the gimp for sure. But right now, I mean, you know, Guilheww looking very, very primed to get something here. That interruption with the Shoryu right there, that was a great get off me tool. Almost got the stock and the game for it. Another chance at life here if you're Guilheww though. Could potentially make some magic happen, but no, as soon as you confirm those down tilts, more than enough percent right there to find Tatsumaki. And Mauu finally putting himself on the board, but not without cause. Guilheww still one game away. Mauu needing to get a reverse 3-0 if he wants to put himself in grands.
That's a really, really big if, right? If he wants to put himself in the ground. So let's see how that is going to work. We actually have the promotion of somebody placing in right there those jerseys from Delfino Maza. You know, I see you in the back right there against Guilheww. So let's see how that is going to work out. Oh my gosh, somebody just brought Cheetos. Thank you. But yeah, let's see now. Game number 4 scenario. We actually see Mauu giving a little of a sigh of relief, right? Like, okay, I'm still in this. Let's see how it's going to work out. We're actually going to go ahead and move into Town and City. Last time that Guilheww was here, he obliterated Cosmos. Let's see if he can repeat the story with Mauu.
Yeah, we potentially could see Lightning Strike twice here with that same kind of Guilheww magic that we're so accustomed to seeing now if you follow the Mexico City scene here. But, I mean, Mauu looking like he has a ton of momentum, you know, already having Guilheww in the corner, looking pretty prime, but Guilheww slowly but surely trying to fight his way back. And this is the variant that I think benefits both of these characters, is this FD variant on Town and City. No platforms, nowhere to go. I think both of these players, the first hit is the one that pretty much gets a ton of advantage right here. And you see the drag down loops into the auto cancel. Not going to be the stock just yet. A back air here potentially. You saw it already, Guilheww going for it. That would have been one of the tickets to get that first stock for sure. This might be it. No, not it just yet.
Not quite yet. Almost got that dash attack out of it. Oh, and this is very smart too. But no, in the end, Mauu actually committed a little bit too much towards opting to hug the stage with the recovery with the Shoryuken. So it ends up costing him right there. That is going to tie things up though with the Nair into the down tilt to Shoryuken. Great stuff overall right here coming in from Mauu, racking up the damage. Actually gets punished off of the combo, and there's going to be a lot of damage. Speak of the devil one more time. How many more? How many more? How many more bonks, man? He hasn't even been able to recover properly yet. Oh my god, 75 damage off of that interaction is insane. And you're telling me Kirby does this of all characters? Goodness gracious.
Man, I mean, yeah, yeah, exactly. Like that was the craziest edge guarding scenario that I saw, and it's like you're either going to die or take 80. There's no in between, and Guilheww really out for blood. One of the most charming, nicest guys I've ever met, but he's just a cold-blooded killer with this character, able to just make combos work out of thin air and just get a ton of mileage off of it. And that's the scenario that he definitely needs at this point in order to at least pull away. And that's another factor that we haven't really talked about a whole lot, is you can kind of just plank with if you're Kirby. All you got to do is just crouch, and Shogunetsu is like basically irrelevant.
Yeah, this is something that, you know, it's a very important part of the matchup. I wake at Wentek, especially that it was going to save Guilheww's life, and it did. In the end, is he going to be able to live? Yes, he is. Barely, just barely able to live with the skin of his teeth. And Mauu knows better than to try to drop down from that platform and try to edge guard Guilheww, because he do not know how many times he's been hit with the command grab with Inhale right there. So I mean, he knows that he does not want to play with Kirby while he's recovering right there. So still good stuff. We're going to see Guilheww interrupt that focus attack with the second hit of his aerial. And not only that, but it's going to go ahead and give him a little bit more of a combo. However, once again, Mauu is going to struggle. And is this it? Is this it? Is this going to be the one? Yes, it is. No, not quite yet.
The loops were enough to put himself in kill percent right here. Not able to actually find the stock, though. Another chance at life here if you're Mauu. I mean, had a great game 3 in order to put himself on the board, but Guilheww just able to find a ton of momentum off stage. Like you said, Town and City might have been one of his better stages, so, you know, beware if you're thinking about taking him there. And an F-tilt right here to put him again at the ledge. One more chance at life. The stone going to do it, and Guilheww is going to be in Grand Finals winner side of Delfino Jam with a 3-1, rather, you know, electrifying set over Mauu.
You know, something that I really love about the competition here within Mexico City is that you don't really see, of course, they're all very, very emotional players, right? Everybody wants to win and they want to take this super seriously, but you don't really see them getting like anything like salty, rather than just sad right after the sets. And I think that it's within like good spirit of competition that they do it. Obviously we've seen some incidents here and there, you know, but they're very counted.
It happens everywhere. It happens everywhere.
Yeah, but I think like specifically within Mexico City, it's one of those places where if you're emotionally volatile within your play, you will get exploited from that within your gameplay, right? Like that is something that happens so often. I've seen so many times that players just look at somebody else within the set and they see somebody just like go like, oh, or like sigh or seem exasperated, things like that. And they immediately know, oh, that guy just lost.